All right, so I'm going to be explaining to you on why I decided to take a short position on CEI stock, why I'm going to be holding that short position over the weekend, and why I'm expecting this stock to crash to $1 a share next week, right? So as you guys know, I like to trade both ways, and I'm currently seeing a phenomenal shorting opportunity on CEI stock. So I'm going to walk you through the technical strategy that I'm using in terms of planning to profit by short selling CEI stock. So let's get right into my analysis. So in terms of CEI stock, what I've noticed is it tends to fill those gaps. And then once it fills those gaps, it tends to have reversal. One of its lowest gaps that was actually waiting to fill was right here at 83 cents, this blue line. And it nearly filled that gap, bottoming at 86 cents. And then the stock shot up to then fill these two gaps that were waiting to fill above. You have a gap to fill above right here at $1.53, and then you have a gap to fill above right here, this intraday gap, that was formed due to a trading halt at $2.25. So here's what I've noticed. I've noticed is, when these stocks fill their higher gaps, right? So this was recently at 86 cents, and then it has another massive run filling one of its highest gaps, the current highest gap that's actually waiting to fill, which would technically be the best price to short sell the stock, is at $3.82 right here. So this gap is actually the second highest gap that is waiting to fill at 225. And today's the day where it filled it. And then once it filled this gap, it started turning it into a resistance level. It started having a gap close reversal, which basically means when a stock fills the gap, it has a reversal. So the stock was trending up to fill the gap. Once it fills the gaps, it has a reversal, it goes coming back down, right? So what its intent, of having to do right now in terms of its process, it's attempting to fill this gap that's waiting to fill below, which is all the way at 91 cents a share, right? That's where I see this heading for the short term being. And then in terms of a phenomenal buying opportunity, that's going to be another great buying opportunity in the low 80-cent range to 91-cent range. But for the short term being, what the stock is doing is it filled that intraday gap, right? And then now it's having that reversal. It's starting to fill this gap that's waiting to fill below at 91 cents. And you could see the previous closing price is failing to turn into support. In order for this to continue to run back up, it needs to turn this 178 level into a support level. And as of now, it is currently reacting as a resistance level, consistently falling back into the 160 range, right? So due to those reasons, that's why I'm shorting the stock from a technical view. Obviously, there's more to it than that. But that's like the short, quick explanation, right? Just by looking at its chart, it really does look like this is going to be on its way back into the lower ones. So if you were interested in, buying this particular stock, I would wait to see how it reacts towards these two key dip buying levels, which would be at 91 cents and 83 cents. That's where I would be interested in potentially dip buying this, right? If you were watching my live trading stream here recently, I didn't end up buying this. I was waiting. I wanted to give it some time. But I did state that, for the short term, I was definitely bullish, and those gaps are most likely going to fill over the short term, towards the twos. I think it's going to shoot back up to the twos, right? I didn't take advantage of that trading opportunity simply because I was waiting for a lower price and the chart was looking bearish at the time. I'm completely fine with missing out on some opportunities. But yeah, with that being said, it simply had its oversold reaction, bouncing back from 86 cents to 240. Now I think it's time to see that downside potential reaction. In my opinion, it's definitely due for some downside for the short term. Also looking at the 1-day candlesticks here, this is fairly a bearish candlestick. You have this bearish candlestick, stock gapped up, then it went from green to red on the day, bearish candlestick. So it looks like it's going to really start to be trending back down to have that second red day on Monday. So for the short term, I see this heading back to low ones. That's my price target. In terms of covering, I'm going to have to take it one day at a time. We'll see how this reacts on Monday. Ideally on Monday, I would like to see this drop to around, the 130s, 130, 140 range, right around there. And then I'll be looking to cover towards the low ones early next week. That would be the plan. And then from there, we'll look for dip buying opportunities towards 83 cents to 90 cents. But I'm mainly interested in just shorting this one. I'm not really interested in potentially buying this at the current moment. We'll see how it reacts towards 83 cents to, 91 cents. But as you can see, I'm in at $1.70. So yeah, that's my analysis on CEI stock. And that's why I think we're going to see a nice pullback into Monday and early next week.